A big thank you to EA for being the sponsors of today's video.
Oh no.
I think we could all use a pick-me-up.
Hey everyone, it's your favourite
60 FPS
gamer Ashton here, and hope you're all having a fantastic day. As you all know, the latest rank split on Olympus has finally come. It's been out for about a week now, and after playing only a few hours per day, I've managed to make it into Apex Predator. So what I'm going to do in today's video is talk to you guys about the new ranked meta for Olympus in Season A and how you can gain RP the most effective way. If you guys go on to find today's video useful or enjoyable, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content from myself. I'm also really pleased to be announcing that on Saturday, the 17th of April at 5 PM UK time, I will be streaming for the first time over on Twitch with a face cam. So if that's something that interests you, then make sure to check the link in the description for my Twitch channel so you can go follow me over there as well. So the goal of today's video is to help you guys gain as much RP as possible in this split of ranked. Now Olympus is a totally different map to Kings Canyon and does play a little bit differently in ranked as well. So what I've done is narrowed it down to 5 main areas that you want to be focusing on in order to gain RP the most effective way on this map. Those 5 key areas are playstyles, legend meta, rotations, weapon meta, and communication. Now the first and most important area to identify in your team is your playstyle. This doesn't apply so much for solo players, but I will have a short moment later talking about how solo players can maximize the RP that they gain from each and every game. If you are playing in a pre-made squad, then the most important thing is to identify as a team how you like to play. If you are a team that likes to play super aggressive, super defensive, or a little bit in between. Identifying your strengths as a team is super important in learning which legends you should be playing and which comp you should be running in ranked. Don't worry if there's a mix of players on your team where some are super aggressive players and some are not so much. So long as a team you come to an agreement on how you want to play, that's the main thing. With that being said, in ranked this season so far, we've seen the meta to be 3 main legends which are being used pretty much across every team. Those legends are Horizon, Bloodhound, and Octane. In my opinion, this is the strongest comp that you can run this season on Olympus, and I'm going to explain why. To get the obvious choice out of the way, Bloodhound is the absolute easiest legend to gain RP on in Apex Legends. Their scan makes it super easy to get assists on pretty much every team fight you have. So long as you scan the enemies before fighting, the assist timer seems to cool down right as the scan finishes, which means you have a really long time to get that assist. Partner that with the fact that the ultimate of Bloodhound is to have scans very often and to be moving super quick and to be really strong in combat. That means you're pretty much going to be guaranteed full RP every single team fight if you know how to play Bloodhound. If you don't, then I highly recommend learning and just playing a little bit of Bloodhound in pubs because they are super strong in ranked. And for anyone solo queuing, this is my tip to you, is to make sure that you snag Bloodhound before anyone else because they are amazing at gaining RP. Bloodhound also offers you the chance to scan survey beacons, which is amazing for rotations. It's definitely not something that you want to overlook. Horizon is obviously also one of the strongest legends in Apex right now, with the tactical ability that is just absolutely nuts. It gives you extreme height very quickly and has a really short cooldown as well. It's super effective in combat because you can pop shield batteries and heals on there and have an insane strafe speed at the same time, making it really hard for enemies to hit you, and shooting down on your enemies with a Spitfire this season, it's scary. Partner that with the fact that her ultimate is also extremely strong when partnered with grenades. She is an insane legend and definitely a legend that you want to be running in any team comp that is going out and looking for kills. For me, Octane would be the surprise pick for this comp, but I think we all know by now this season that Octane is extremely strong, and it doesn't surprise me so much that he's worked his way into ranked. We all saw how stupidly, obnoxiously strong the Octane Revenant meta on Kings Canyon was, and between you and me, there are still some weirdos running that on Olympus.
Oh yeah.
Fortunately though, because of the way that Olympus is made as a map, this meta is less relevant and less effective this split in ranked, so hopefully you're not going to be seeing quite as much of that this time round. That being said though, Octane's jump pad is an immensely strong tool in order to get into fights and out of fights at the blink of an eye. With the jump pad cooldown being so short as well, you're not going to be short of jump pads to go in and out of fights. So the moment you deal damage on someone, your whole team can jump pad onto that team and apply pressure instantly. We tried playing the first few days without an Octane because none of us really wanted to play Octane, but after a few days, we clocked on that Octane was really strong, and we've run with an Octane ever since, and we've had much better results. Now the reason this comp is so successful is because of the way that most people play on Ranked and Apex this season. This is because you basically want to be in and out of your fights as quickly as possible. This was vital on Kings Canyon and is still really important on Olympus, but on Olympus you probably have a little bit more time in between fights, but you can still be instantly thirded, so do be careful of that. It's just not quite as common on this map, but it can still happen. Now whilst we're on that topic of being quick in and out of fights, it's also important to rotate quickly as well, especially after a fight, because unless you're looking to take a third party fight, essentially you're going to be third partied whilst you're weak. And whilst having abilities like Octane's jump pad and Horizon's lift are useful for getting out of these situations as well, having a Trident nearby is the best solution for quick and easy rotations. For me, the Trident is the key to all success on this map. It offers you free rotations pretty much anywhere you want to go. As a team, we land in a variety of places, but never too far away from a Trident. The reason for this is because of, depending on where the ring pulls, you might need a Trident to be able to loot the whole POI that you land on and rotate in time, and you always want to be rotating to the strongest endgame position as early as possible. Remember back to when I said about Bloodhound being able to scan survey beacons? This is where that comes in useful. So after you've looted up off of the drop and you've hopped in the Trident and driven off at full speed,
Hitching a ride. Let's get moving.
you probably want to be looking for some early KP. If you have had a fight off of the drop, this is less important as you've already got that little bit of early KP to lessen the losses if you do lose early on. But if you don't, then you can drive around in the Trident and look for an ongoing fight that you can third party easily, and with the character combination that we've talked about already, it's going to be super easy for you to third party effectively. Once you've got that, you want to be rotating to what you think is going to be the strongest position for the end game. Holding this position is often the key to winning a game. If you think this area is quite open, don't worry. That is something that happens quite a lot on Olympus, but what few people remember is that you can use the Trident as cover, and there are a few Tridents around the map, so even if you want two, you can grab two and use them as cover. The easiest way to identify a strong position for late game is to think about which areas are going to have the most control over that zone. Quite often this is going to be a point of high ground or a building. With every zone that comes in, you need to be thinking about how you can be the team to control that area and that location, and that's how you're going to win most games. Positioning is super important in Ranked. That being said, when the time comes to push out and fight, you shouldn't be afraid to do that. With this team comp we've talked about, movement isn't exactly an issue and you should be able to rotate back in pretty quickly. However, the higher ranks that you go up, teams are going to be onto this and going to rotate into those strong positions if you take too long. So, as we said earlier, it's important that you're very quick in your fights. Having good team communication with Bloodhound is really important, as Bloodhound's strength is in the fact that you can see where the enemies are before you fight. More often than not, you're able to single out a single enemy that is far away from his teammates and get an early easy kill, and that makes it a 2v3 very quickly. If you can communicate this and all three push that one guy who's off to his side on his own, you're going to make your life a lot easier. This happens way more often than you'd expect as well. Now in terms of weapons that are strong for Olympus, there are a variety of weapons that you can use. This map does open up the possibility for snipers to be way more effective, and we're seeing a lot of that, especially on PC. If you are going to run a sniper, then I would highly recommend running the triple take, because in those close range scenarios where you run out of ammo and need to switch weapons, the triple take is going to be your best option in the back pocket if things get hairy. You don't want to be pulling out a charge rifle in that situation, it's not fun. For legends like Bloodhound and Octane that have really fast movement speed abilities, I would recommend running an SMG to help improve even more that strafe speed when you're up in the face of your enemy. Their strength as legends is of course in close combat, so having an SMG will definitely benefit that. Shotguns are just as strong as ever, and especially on a Gibraltar, you do want to be running a Mastiff or an Eva 8 if you can. But my preferred loadout on Olympus is usually the R301 and the Volt SMG. I feel it offers the most coverage for long to medium range with the R301 and also close range if things get out of hand, but the Volt is definitely the best for that. It has such a quick reload time, and even despite the damage nerf recently, it's still really strong. that is going to be all for today's video, and I hope you guys have found it useful or enjoyable. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you did. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your constant support, and do remember, I will be streaming on the 17th of April on Twitch. Link is in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. It's been your boy Ashton. Take it easy and goodbye.